Staying young is not a gift handed down by genetics, nor is it a miracle reserved for the lucky few. It is the result of small choices, repeated consistently each day, quietly accumulating into a powerful difference over time. People may look at someone and say they appear younger than their actual age, but it isn't because of good genes, it's because of discipline in the way they live. Age is only a number, but the energy, aura, and freshness you carry are a direct reflection of the habits you've built. Think of those people who walk into a room and instantly light it up. They don't need to show off or try to impress, yet their skin radiates, their eyes sparkle, their smile uplifts, and their very presence carries a vitality that words can't quite define. When others guess their age, they often get it wrong because the signs of time seem to slow down on their face, in their posture, in every gesture. That isn't an accident, it's the outcome of a lifestyle. Lasting youth is a reflection of inner balance, a body nourished with care, and a mind that knows how to release what no longer serves. Being youthful is not about having no wrinkles. It's about keeping the eyes bright, the voice warm, and the presence alive with spirit. And that has never been about luck. It's about daily choices, repeated again and again. Habits are like drops of water. You don't see the change immediately, but over the years, they carve even the hardest stone. In the same way, the little decisions you make each day, what time you go to sleep, how you respond to stress, whether you move your body, whether you listen to your mind, these are what quietly write the true story of your age. Some may look young on the outside but feel exhausted within. Others carry such vitality that age becomes irrelevant. When people think about staying young, their minds often jump to expensive cosmetics, cosmetic procedures, or rigid diets. But those are just surface layers. What truly keeps you young isn't the product you use, but how you manage your inner world, how you treat your body, and how you honor rest. Freshness that comes from within naturally radiates outward. It needs no disguise, no exaggeration. Remember this, time spares no one, but the way time leaves its mark on you is entirely up to you. Each day, you're either nurturing your youth or unconsciously allowing it to fade. There is no neutral ground. This truth may feel uncomfortable, but it also brings hope. It means you are in control. You cannot turn back the clock, but you can make every moment lighter, more vibrant, and that is how you outsmart aging. Youthfulness is not about age, it is about choice. Those you admire for seeming timeless are not defying time, they are simply living by a different discipline. They know what truly matters, and they feed it every single day. They understand that the body and mind are treasures to be cared for, not machines that can run endlessly without maintenance. That awareness alone creates the difference. So ask yourself, how do you want to look and feel 10 years from now? The answer is not in chance, it is hidden in the choices you are making today. People who age gracefully don't wait until the future arrives to regret. They plant the seeds now. They don't live by the habits of neglect, but by the habits of awareness. And you can begin this moment. Staying young is not about escaping time. It is about learning to walk with it wisely, mindfully, and with deep gratitude. When you truly understand this, you don't just preserve a youthful appearance, you protect a spirit that never grows old. Nothing robs youth faster than stress. It seeps into every cell, disrupts your hormones, burns through your energy, and leaves visible marks on your face. Wrinkles appear earlier, the skin dulls, the eyes lose their spark, the body feels heavy. Stress does not knock politely at the door, it barges in, steals your peace, and rewires your entire system from the inside out. You can see it in the way someone walks, in the way they speak, even in the way their shoulders are constantly tense. A person drowning in stress carries a heavy atmosphere with them, and that makes them appear much older than they are. Not because time is cruel, but because they have allowed stress to take the wheel. Those who age gracefully are not immune to stress. They face pressure, challenges, loss, and responsibility, just like everyone else. The difference is this: they refuse to live with stress as if it were normal. They do not allow themselves to stay trapped in the spiral of anxiety because they know stress is the silent thief of youth. Instead of reacting in haste, they practice pausing. Instead of letting the mind spiral deeper into worry, they return to their breath. It could be 10 deep inhalations in a quiet room, a few lines scribbled in a journal at dawn, or a slow walk without a phone in hand. The method doesn't matter. What matters is the commitment to peace. Stress doesn't only damage the mind, it leaves scars in behavior. Overeating, snapping in anger, withdrawing from others, overthinking, these habits quietly drain vitality. When the body remains in fight or flight for too long, it has no space left for recovery. The result is a dimmed gaze, a voice stripped of warmth, a posture weighed down by stiffness. Youthfulness is not the absence of wrinkles. Youthfulness is an openness in spirit, a flexibility of energy, a presence that feels alive. And none of that can coexist with prolonged stress. This is why people who remain youthful protect their peace as if it were their most precious treasure. They know how to say no without guilt. They walk away from toxic conversations. They limit their time on social media and unplug when needed. They pay more attention to their own state of being than to their calendar. They set boundaries, and more importantly, they honor them. Most of all, they do not tie their worth to their achievements. One of the greatest roots of stress is the pressure to prove oneself. Those who stay young have learned another truth. Rest is productivity, joy is essential, laughter is medicine, and doing less can sometimes be the wisest strategy. They do not let themselves become victims of busyness. They choose a pace that matches their soul. And in doing so, their bodies are not weighed down with overload, their faces are not carved with exhaustion, and their hearts remain open to new experiences. Youthfulness is the result of presence, not perfection. Stress is born from the obsession with control. The tighter you cling, the quicker you lose your lightness. But when you learn to release what lies beyond your control, when you trust that you can face life step by step, when you replace a tense sigh with a relaxed breath that shows on your face, in your energy, and in your eyes, others will look at you and say, "You don't look anywhere near your age." That is not luck. It is the reward for choosing not to let stress dictate your life. Stress does not disappear simply because you wish it away. It is a constant of modern life, but the way you face it determines everything. Those who stay young don't run from pressure, they train themselves to live with it without being consumed. They understand that peace is not born when the world stops being chaotic, but when you learn to create stillness within yourself. It may look like 10 deep breaths when anger flares, a few lines written in a journal to unload the weight on your mind before the day begins, a quiet walk without a phone, just to reconnect with the wind, your footsteps, and yourself. These seemingly simple moments are, in fact, the most sustainable anti-aging strategy because they guide the nervous system back to balance. Those who remain youthful treat peace as their most valuable possession. They guard it with clear boundaries. They have no hesitation in saying no to invitations they know will drain their energy. They step out of toxic conversations, refuse to be dragged into the whirlpool of comparison or meaningless arguments. They rest without guilt because they know rest is not laziness, but a renewal of energy that allows them to live more deeply. They are also fully aware that the greatest enemy of peace is tying self-worth to achievement. When you let every mistake define you, stress becomes a permanent burden. The youthful choose another way. They believe value does not come from doing more, but from living more fully. That belief frees them from the pressure to prove, making room instead for joy, laughter, creativity, the very forces that restore the body more powerfully than any cosmetic ever could. When you stop racing to control everything, you release an enormous amount of energy. Stress is born from the hunger for control, worrying about the future, obsessing over the past, being harsh with the present. But when you learn to let go, to trust that you can handle life one moment at a time, you reclaim openness and lightness. And this shows on your face. Your features soften, your smile comes more easily, your eyes shine brighter. Those who stay young do not live in reaction mode. They live in creation mode. Instead of letting tension dictate their mood, they consciously choose their response. They practice asking, is this worth the cost of my peace? And most of the time, the answer is no. That clarity is what preserves their youth. Most importantly, they do not treat peace as a luxury, but as a basic need. Just as the body needs water and air, the mind needs stillness. It is the foundation that activates every self-healing mechanism. When the nervous system is calm and hormones are balanced, the body knows how to repair itself. Peace becomes a weapon against aging more powerful than any treatment money can buy. Youth is not measured by the number of years, but by presence. The ones who keep their freshness are those who have learned to remain calm in the storm. And this secret is not something distant or unreachable. It is a choice, repeated every single day. Each time you choose peace over reaction, you are choosing to stay younger, longer. Nothing accelerates aging faster than stagnation. When you stop moving, everything slows, circulation weakens, energy declines, the mind feels heavy. But the human body was designed to move. Every step, every deep breath taken in motion sends a signal. You are alive, you are strong, you are still moving forward. Those who stay youthful understand that movement is not a beauty contest or a body obsession. They don't exercise to show off, they move to sustain life itself. A short walk, a gentle stretch, a spontaneous dance in the kitchen, a few yoga poses on the mat at sunrise, all of these are ways the body reminds itself, I want to be strong, I want to live fully. Their principle is simple. Consistency matters more than intensity. No marathon required, no hours in the gym, just movement every single day. They know one burst of effort cannot replace steady discipline, and it is that steady rhythm that holds the true key to youth. Movement does more than shape muscles or body image. It is therapy for the mind. Each time the body moves, stress is released, worry dissolves, serotonin and endorphins, the happiness hormones, are activated. Clarity sharpens, emotions lighten. That's why people who move daily don't just look younger, they radiate an energy that naturally draws others in. Imagine someone walking into a room with shoulders upright, eyes bright, steps light. That presence speaks louder than any wrinkle. It is the energy of movement, proof that they are not stuck in place but are progressing forward. And forward energy is the clearest sign of youth. Movement also purifies the body. Sweat, deep breathing, a faster heartbeat, all are natural mechanisms of detoxification. The result, clearer skin, sparkling eyes, a healthy glow. This isn't coincidence, it's the reward for loyalty to one simple habit, moving every day. Those who remain youthful don't wait for motivation to act. They don't ask, do I feel like it today? They act because they know motivation comes after commitment, not before. For them, movement is a non-negotiable ritual, as natural as brushing teeth or drinking water. And this quiet commitment, repeated day after day, is what makes the true difference. Movement is also a reminder that you are not fragile. Each time you overcome laziness and push your body a little further, you send a message to your mind, I am strong. I am not done. I am still moving forward. That confidence seeps into how you speak, how you stand, how you face challenges. And confidence is always one of the most magnetic signs of youth. The years may add to your age, but your body will reflect exactly how you treat it. If you let it sleep in stagnation, it will fade quickly. If you nourish it with movement, it will preserve its flexibility, strength, and radiance beyond the numbers on paper. Movement doesn't just keep you young, it keeps you alive. And living fully is the deepest definition of youth. Movement doesn't just keep the body flexible, it also trains the mind. Every time you walk, jog, practice yoga, or simply stretch after a long day, you are sending yourself a powerful message. I am not stuck. I can move forward. And this message goes deeper than muscles or joints. It seeps into the subconscious, nurturing mental strength. Those who age gracefully understand that movement is a dialogue with emotions. When you're stressed, a short walk can calm the mind faster than arguing with yourself. When you're sad, a spontaneous dance can spark joy without needing any explanation. When you feel drained, a few minutes of exercise triggers endorphins that flood the body with natural happiness. Movement becomes medicine for the soul, a prescription-free remedy, free of side effects, always available at your command. The body is a gateway into the inner world. When you move, your breathing deepens, your heartbeat steadies, your brain releases neurotransmitters that stabilize emotions. Inner chaos fades, replaced by clarity, focus, and the sense of being in control. Those who maintain movement radiate a different kind of energy. They are not just physically fit, but mentally grounded. You can sense it instantly in the way they walk, in the way their eyes meet yours. Each time you overcome laziness and choose to move, you build another layer of discipline in the mind. You prove to yourself that you can act even when you don't feel like it. That discipline becomes a priceless mental asset. It teaches you that true strength doesn't lie in fleeting moods, but in the ability to stay committed to what sustains you long term. This is the foundation of confidence, and confidence is one of the clearest signs of youth. Movement is also a way of releasing invisible burdens. You cannot cling to anxiety while gasping for breath in a cardio session. You cannot endlessly replay worries when your body is busy balancing in a yoga pose. In that moment, you set the mental load down and give your mind the gift of rest. And that rest is what truly rejuvenates you from within. Those who stay young don't wait for circumstances to change before they feel better. They create the change through movement. When they feel drained, they step outside to breathe and walk. When they feel anxious, they twist, stretch, and loosen their shoulders. When they feel sad, they play music and let their body flow freely. Instead of letting emotions trap them, they let the body open the door to release. The mental power of movement also lies in the feeling of victory. Not victory over others, but over the weaker self, the one that wanted to delay, to quit, to give up. Every time you finish your run, complete a workout, or simply stick to a small daily ritual of movement, you've defeated that version of yourself. Over time, these small victories build pride, build trust in your own resilience, and remind you that you can rise above challenges in every area of life. Youth is not a number of years, it is a state of mind. Movement is the tool that preserves this state. Free, strong, flexible, and full of vitality. When the body moves, the mind moves. When the mind moves, emotions are released. And when emotions are released, you return to your original freshness, a freshness that never truly grows old. There is no greater secret to lasting youth than sleep. No cream can replace it. No treatment can compensate for chronic deprivation. Sleep is the body's natural regeneration system, designed since the beginning of time. Those who remain youthful understand this truth. They treat sleep as a survival strategy, not a luxury. During deep sleep, the body enters its most powerful healing mode. The skin regenerates, muscles repair, hormones rebalance, the immune system strengthens. The brain, after a full day flooded with information, is cleansed of neurological waste. Each night of quality rest is like giving yourself a full spectrum dose of rejuvenation. On the other hand, lack of sleep doesn't just leave you tired the next morning, it etches itself on your face with puffiness, dull skin, and a clouded mind. The youthful do not live in survival mode, starting the day propped up by strong coffee and ending it collapsed from exhaustion. They intentionally cultivate sleep discipline, knowing that rest doesn't come by chance, it comes by preparation. They switch off screens, dim the lights, and signal to the body that it's time to restore. They create rituals before bed, a gentle book, a warm cup of tea, a cool and quiet room. Each step sends a consistent message to the body. It's time to heal. Sleep is not just about hours, it's about quality. 8 restless hours in front of a screen cannot compare to 6 hours of uninterrupted deep rest. Those who stay young optimize sleep by honoring their circadian rhythm, going to bed on time, waking at the same hour, avoiding the chaos of irregular schedules. Protecting sleep is, in truth, protecting health, beauty, and longevity. Most importantly, they don't confuse rest with laziness. Society glorifies busyness, praises late nights of work as a badge of effort. But the harsh truth is this: exhaustion is never a medal of honor. The youthful have seen through this illusion. They understand that rest doesn't waste time, it doubles efficiency the next day. They don't prove their worth by staying awake. They prove it by waking refreshed, sharp, and fully present. Sleep is also a form of self-respect. You cannot demand peak performance from a body you refuse to let rest. You cannot expect a radiant face while subjecting it to endless nights of strain. Those who stay young know that self-care begins with the most basic act: going to bed early, sleeping deeply, and sleeping enough. Every hour of good rest is an investment in the future. It not only makes you look younger today, but also shields you from the diseases of aging, from memory decline, from energy depletion. And the best part is no one can take that choice away from you. Staying young is not about fighting time, but cooperating with it. Sleep is the clearest proof. When you sleep, you allow time to do its work, healing, restoring, renewing. When you resist sleep, you fight against the very law of nature and accelerate your own aging. That is why those who seem to glow with freshness, radiance, and energy all share the same habit. They sleep as if their life depends on it, because in truth, it does. Every secret to lasting youth circles back to one root: how you manage stress. You can exercise daily, eat clean, and sleep well, but if your mind is constantly dominated by worry, your face will still reflect fatigue, and your body will still age from within. Stress is not just a feeling, it is a chain of chemical reactions. Cortisol rises, hormones destabilize, inflammation spreads, and wrinkles carve themselves into the skin. Unless you stop it at the root, every other effort is only a temporary fix. Those who stay youthful know that peace doesn't arrive on its own, it must be trained. They create personal systems to master their emotions, journaling to release, breathing to regain balance, meditating to observe thoughts, or simply stepping away from screens and walking into nature. They don't wait for luck to feel less stressed. They actively build habits that anchor their minds in calm. The biggest difference lies in their choice of response. Those controlled by stress react instantly, snapping in anger, complaining, sinking into negativity. Those who stay young choose to pause. They ask, is this worth the price of my peace? Most of the time, the answer is no. And that single pause is enough to break the spiral of negativity. They also refuse to let drama become their daily diet. They don't drown in negative news, don't get entangled in petty rivalries, don't turn themselves into dumping grounds for toxic energy, because they understand energy is currency and stress is the most expensive expense. Wasting energy on meaningless battles is the fastest way to trade away youth. One of their greatest strengths is the ability to self-dialogue. Instead of being swept away by destructive thoughts, they train themselves with simple yet powerful reminders. I can handle this. This feeling will pass. What's the best action I can take right now? This is not blind optimism, it is mental discipline. It makes them masters in the storm rather than victims of circumstance. The youthful also know how to let go. They don't carry anger, resentment, or old mistakes forever. They forgive not because everything is fine, but because carrying emotional baggage is the fastest route to burnout. That lightness is youth. An overloaded mind cannot shine, but a light mind always reflects freshness. Inner mastery is not a state you're born with, it is a skill you cultivate. Each time you choose silence over an outburst, forgiveness over holding on, a breath over panic, you carve a new pattern into your mind. That pattern becomes an invisible armor against aging. Youth is not tight skin, it is clear energy, open eyes, and the ability to stand steady in challenges without letting them corrode your spirit. Those who remain young do not escape the storms, they simply know how to command the sails within them. That steadiness creates an aura that is hard to explain, a glow not measured by years, but by inner mastery. When you return to the root, master your inner world, and manage stress, you discover something remarkable. Not only do you look younger, but you feel more alive. Time still moves, but it no longer erodes you. You learn to walk with it awake, at peace, with a heart that has never grown old. Staying young has never been a magic trick. It doesn't live inside a miracle pill or an expensive cream. Youthfulness is the outcome of consistent choices, repeated every single day, choosing to manage stress, to move, to rest, to choose peace over chaos. When you piece together these seemingly simple actions, you hold the only formula for walking with time instead of being defeated by it. The youthful do not stay young because they avoid challenges, but because they refuse to let challenges leave permanent scars on their mind and body. They know stress can strike at any moment, yet they also know they have the power not to be ruled by it. They wield peace as their weapon against aging. Every deep breath, every pause they create amid the rush of life is like a rejuvenating tonic for the nervous system. They also understand the body was born to move. They don't sit idle and let stagnation drain their vitality. They embrace movement as a sacred ritual. Every step, every drop of sweat, every stretch does more than keep the body strong. It keeps the spirit flexible. And that flexibility makes age nothing more than a number. For them, Sleep is not the leftover of a long day, it is the foundation of recovery. They do not sacrifice rest to chase the exhausting rhythm of overwork. They respect sleep as a strategy for preserving youth, because they know that when rest runs deep, the body knows exactly how to heal and renew itself. Quality sleep is the cheapest yet most powerful rejuvenation therapy available to anyone. All of this returns to one common root: inner mastery. You can train, eat well, and rest, but if your mind is tangled in worry, anger, or the weight of the past, you will still age quickly. The youthful are not free from burdens, they simply know when to set them down. They choose forgiveness to stay light, the present moment over obsession, joy over proving themselves, and that choice is what makes them radiant. The formula for ageless youth is no secret. It has been in your hands all along. Stress managed, movement honored, sleep respected, the inner world mastered. Live with this discipline, and age becomes just a number on paper. Others will look at you and wonder at the energy you carry. They'll ask for your secret, and you'll know the truth. It isn't genetics, it isn't magic, it's the choices you committed to day after day. Staying young is not about outrunning time, it is about walking alongside it wisely. When you choose peace over tension, movement over stagnation, rest over exhaustion, you don't just stay young, you live more fully. And that is the true victory over age. Remember, youth is not found in flawless skin, but in bright eyes, in the energy you bring into a room, in the confidence with which you face life. Each day you hold the chance to plant the seeds of your own youth. And those seeds are your habits. When you understand this, you realize the secret to lasting youth has never been out of reach. It has always been hidden in your daily choices. Begin today, for time will always move forward, but how it passes through your body and your mind is entirely up to you. That is the only true formula for staying forever young.